I understand there's an imbalance between omega-3 and other competing oils such as omega-6. What's the background?
Well, I think what people need to know is that the omega-3 and the omega-6 fats are vitamins, and so we have to eat them. And if we need to pay attention to balancing, and sometimes we neglect to observe how much omega-6 is in a given food and how much omega-3 is. That carelessness can cause real problems. And these vitamins that we eat go into our body tissues, and our body makes hormones out of them. And then the hormones activate tissues and cells to do things. And again, if it's an imbalanced action, then we can have diseases and disorders that we really would prefer not to have. So the advice that I have then is that if you pay attention to what you put in your mouth, you could pick foods and make sure that the vitamins you eat are balanced so that the hormones that you make will also be balanced, and that you could prevent many diseases that are caused by excessive omega-6 action that you just never thought of until you heard me, maybe.
Why has an imbalance developed?
I think the imbalance developed because food processing has become, in the 20th century, a major activity, and the food processing priorities are for profits of the companies doing the processing. That doesn't necessarily give a lot of attention to the composition and the health consequences of that composition. Now, we've known that a balance in omega-3 and omega-6 can prevent disorders due to excessive omega-6 actions, but that hasn't percolated into the food processing industry. And so we now have increasing abundance, greatly increased abundance of omega-6 in the processed foods that Americans eat, and I think in Europeans and Australians also.
And where does the omega-6 come from?
Omega-6 is found in many foods. In fact, it's present in almost all foods, but large amounts of omega-6 are then found in vegetable oils such as corn oil, cottonseed oil, soybean oil, and safflower oil. And people just aren't aware of it, and they don't realize that they're taking thousands of milligrams of omega-6.
And that's developed since when, that imbalance?
The use of, when I was a child in the 30s and 40s, our main cooking oils were lard and butter. And both of those are low, relatively low in omega-6 fatty acids. Then after the Second World War, vegetable oils came onto the market, and vegetable oil margarines displaced butter to some degree. And the rate of intake of omega-6 in the vegetable oils and the foods made, processed foods made with soybean oil and vegetable oil, those became more and more abundant. So from 1950 to 1980, the intake of omega-6 rose massively. Yeah.